Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Jules, here for WhatCulture.com, joined by Scott
Hey, there's stuff to talk about,
There is
mate.
indeed, which can mean only one thing. It's time for some news, so let's hit that jingle.
Hot dang, there's news, give it all you got. I guess it's time for Jules and Scott.
And we're back in the room, and we are talking about one of my favourite FPSs of all time, because Timesplitters might be coming back.
It's pretty damn promising, though. So it turns out that Koch Media, K-O-C-H,
No jokes there.
Not a single one. They've managed to acquire both the Timesplitters IP and the Second Sight IP, which many old-school PS2 people will remember. It was worse than Psyops, but not to worry. We'll get there.
What the f***?
We'll get back to that, mate.
Okay, well, but this is
Timesplitters, though.
So THQ Nordic own Koch Media, and
Yes.
Koch Media have acquired these IPs. Now, that sometimes amounts to nothing other than just them trying to protect rights to maybe chuck them into DLC and things like that, or just to be able to use certain characters further down the line. However, the fact is that there's a guy who is in Koch Media who's got a fantastic name.
Leading man.
Leading man, what's his name again?
Clemens Kundratitz.
Again, no jokes there.
Country tits.
His team are huge fans of Timesplitters, as are we. Now, if you are, and this is going to be where I get on my soapbox now.
Go on.
If you are tired of looking around and seeing only World War II, World War I, women in war, what's that? Why are people angry about that? That definitely happened at some point. War in general needs to change. Not with space boots and running and jumping. Not with Titanfall 2, even though that was great. But Timesplitters. I don't know where I was going with that, but it's a great
Get
game.
off the soapbox. Let's talk about... Okay.
Timesplitters 2 is one of the best games
Monkeys
ever
with Guns, mate, is what I'm going with. Timesplitters 2 is a very gorgeous game. Future Perfect didn't play it. Heard it was very good. You liked it a lot.
You never played
I didn't. I've dropped off after Timesplitters 2,
Wow.
but it's all right. Basically, the franchise has been dead for over a decade, and it's one of those things that a lot of people have a nostalgic connection to. So...
Surprisingly,
It's
because
worth
of the
bringing it
fact that
back.
it's obviously Free Radical made this, and obviously they had ties with GoldenEye back in the day, and they
Yes.
brought across a lot of the charm that made GoldenEye one of the best multiplayer games of its time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing is, when you're looking at Timesplitters, what do we want from a new Timesplitters game? We want a great. The story maybe doesn't even matter, because until 2, it didn't even need to be a sort of thing. Maybe that was the thing that killed Future Perfect for some people.
Well, true, but the animated cutscenes, the general sort of look and feeling,
That was
like,
deliciously
they
their own
need
style.
that. Like that
Yeah.
has to be their own thing, because that tends to be associated more with Overwatch or even Team Fortress 2 retrospectively. Whereas Timesplitters carved out a nice little niche on the PS2.
Of the cartoony sort of
Yeah.
shooter, cartooter.
It was just lovable. It was just lovable.
It needs to have the challenge mode back in again,
Yes.
because that was amazing. It needs to have the mini snake game that you could unlock by getting the cartridges. It needs to have as many crazy guns, if not more, than it had before. And most importantly, it needs to be multiplayer focused. Because let's face it, the multiplayer is the reason to play Timesplitters.
It sounds like you played a hell of a lot more of it than I did.
Oh,
I
God.
lived on 2 for a while.
I love that
And
game
the first
so
one,
much.
actually.
But the thing is that I went back to it recently and I found that the guns, they swivel like this.
Well,
around.
see, yeah, the Timesplitters was one of the last franchises that still had that, like, GoldenEye style, even like, I don't know, Lost Planet had it, where you're aiming inside the screen.
Yeah, quite odd,
And
actually.
I wonder if they did that now, it would differentiate them so much.
I hope that they just go back to a straight fixed perspective
Yeah.
thing, because I found that after going back to Future Perfect, where they actually didn't have that
Right.
as much within their aim within the screen, that was a better one for me,
Yes.
mechanically. But it's not the only IP that we're going to be talking about today, because Second Sight is a delicious game, and if you haven't played it, then I really recommend that you do, because without going into like major spoiler territory, it's a game that focuses on a guy with amnesia who wakes up, who then has to deal with tons of sort of like crazy telekinetic pyrokinesis, like crazy psychic powers, and then on top of that, there's a military conspiracy.
So, back in the day, Second Sight and Psyops released about 3 or 4 months apart, and they were both about people with psychokinetic, mind-melding powers. Let me tell you about Psyops.
I've played it, mate. It's bloody great.
Psyops, for me, was the better game. I always liked Second Sight's approach, and that was Free Radical as well. But Psyops was midway, I think, and they just went all in on Havoc physics, and you could pick up like any part of the scenery and just smash dudes with it. You could pick guys up midair and pop their heads, and just take out all their mind juice, and then you just run around, you just slam everything everywhere. Oh, it's the best. Why have they not remastered that or put it on Xbox One backwards compatible?
You can actually see that on a list that we've done of the 10 most underrated PS2 games of all time.
Possibly the most underrated, overlooked game of all time.
But there we go. That is the news. It might be coming back. As soon as we get more details, we will let you guys know. I know that it's been a bit of a ramble, love affair of us just basically spewing our thing. But seriously, if you've not checked out these games, please do. They are fantastic.
Yep.
And if you go and show your support for them and get online and say, bring this goddamn game franchise back, then hopefully we will. Come on, THQ Nordic. Bring it home for daddy.
Sort it out.
Yeah. So anyway, as always, I've been Jules.
I've been Scott.
You've been awesome, and we'll speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.